Bjorgvin, thank you for joining me today on Pop Culture Unplugged.
Thanks for having me.
Exciting times, my friend. With season three, man, fans are going crazy over this season.
Yes, it's exciting. I was a little bit stressed out because the strike, that pause in between, but people are so excited and people are watching it, so that's really all that matters.
Yeah. And what's great about it too was split into like the two different parts. So we had to watch the first part of season three, and now we're at the part two. Let's start with like the way season three has unraveled so far. With the whole Chucky and the White House and everything. What's your insights on on your character now, Devon? With how intense and unexpected is he in this situation now into season three?
Dude, it's wild. I mean, like, the first part, we were kind of just got into the White House, kind of just started our master plan, and now we're basically in, and now we're, like Alexi has, hang out with Grant a lot, and then we're entering the building. So I think our plans come to fruition, but it is a little bit nerve-wracking, I think, because it's like, what is there, like, what is gonna happen? What's Chucky's up, like, what is he up to in the White House? What is he doing? And yeah, is like how stressed out should we be for about this right now?
Right. I don't want to give out too many spoilers and everything, but when you were reading the script while you were filming this, what was going through your mind?
Dude, I can't say much, but I was surprised. I
Hmm.
was surprised.
There you go. What kind of
Oh,
challenges? What kind of challenges do you think Devin faces, like dealing with Chucky and also balancing like pressures of like a romantic relationship and growing up at the same time too?
dude, I think it's like a hyper like a hyper realized like idea of like puberty and stuff like that and growing because it's like I think like young people always have that kind of issue about like, fitting in and kind of working on all their things they want to do, maybe like going to like college or whatever, but Devin, instead of going to college or doing that, he's trying to not die and also trying to like have his relationship with his boyfriend work, and I think those are two pretty big issues he has to tackle. And so far, I think he's doing a good job. I think uh, maybe not so much in the killing Chucky part, but I hope, yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I know. We mentioned a few minutes ago, no spoilers, everything. But and I mentioned about you reading the script, but like when you're reading about your character, were you like, oh yeah, let's go, like you want to jump on the set to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I was really excited to like shoot some of those scenes. Like, there's some really fun stuff in the two other episodes in the episodes coming out soon. The next
Yeah.
week, there's some really fun stuff with that. I'm really excited for you to see those episodes.
Mhm. We also see throughout the season too, like Tiffany's storylines unfolding with the police closing, the murderous rampage that she went through. For your character and like and other characters, how does this like looming crisis, like how does it deal with your characters?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, the show is having these two storylines happen, and at some point they're gonna converge, right? They have to because it's the
Yeah.
build up, right? And I think that's kind of the stress that, like Jennifer's doing her whole thing. She's out of it's her home show, right? Honestly, that whole thing is crazy. And yeah, I'm like, well, how is that gonna tie into back to like the kid storyline? Like, how is it? What's gonna happen? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think Devin really knows what's happening in that,
Mhm.
so. Honestly, I think Devon's pretty carefree. I think Devon thinks that Jennifer Tilly's done, but I'm guessing when he finally sees her again, he's gonna be like, "Oh no, God, what happened?"
Right. What about with Devin and Jake's relationship too? There's like a high tension, dangers happening, like what can you tell us about that?
Um, I mean, I guess that big moment in episode five, came out. Obviously, that was a great moment for us as a couple, and especially later, there's gonna be some challenges that come in that I don't know. I think are really gonna be interesting for people to see, and I can't really say much because they're all spoilers, but it's
Right,
like.
right.
I mean, like, I mean, like, if you like that scene, you're gonna really love what's happening because it's really gonna bring a relationship. Some challenges in there is gonna happen, and I think it's gonna be really fun for people to watch.
Mm. So three seasons in, how would you describe like the friendship between Devin, Jake, and Lexi throughout these three seasons?
Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, we're basically like friends in real life. I mean, I think we got along really well, really fast. So I think it was really easy to like kind of turn that real friendship into the show and have Lexi, Devin, and Jake also be friends.
Yeah.
It's really easy to translate that together. And honestly, this the set is just so fun and so great. Everyone on there is awesome. So it's really easy to kind of just like go into that energy and kind of like it doesn't even feel like work at some times. It just feels like I'm having fun with friends.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I can see.
really, really important in this type of show.
Yeah. What I like about your character too, like he did a lot of research on the history of Chucky and the voodoo
Mhm.
magic and like how do you think like, he understands Chucky's past to inform like the decisions that's going to happen in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I like to say that Devin is the only character who knows how to use Google in the whole show. 'Cause I'm like, I feel like a lot of these issues will be solved with quick Google search. And I think, Devin has a lot of knowledge, about his story, about his backstory, and about Charlie Ray and stuff. So I think he's able to use that really well. I mean, I think the show has used it a lot, like especially season two, where he goes on this whole thing, gets kidnapped. That's season two, right? Where Devin gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens, and then I think that's all from his research, and now he's studying, voodoo and spirits and stuff. And I mean, I think it's yeah. I think Devin's having a little bit of fun, I think he's having fun exploring all this like lore and stuff. So I think that his enthusiasm is gonna keep him going, and I think yeah, fun. I don't know.
What do you think sets season three like in the high standards compared to season one and two?
Honestly, I think each season it gets bigger and bigger. I mean, I think season one was pretty. At this point now, looking back, it seems kind of simple a little bit. Season one, it seemed
Yeah.
kind of like simple, and now like season three, it's like the White House. There's like weird paranormal stuff going on. It's like it's crazy. It's and it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. It's wild, man. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like, with season one was like a little, wasn't too crazy. And all of a sudden, season three is like more intense, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
So, your character, he's been growing also through these three seasons. Like, how do you approach like playing this character with like you got like emotions and the reactions of like suspenseful scenes. Like, how do you prepare yourself for these roles, for this role?
Um, I guess for me, I was kind of nervous because I feel like in the acting wise, like my season one performance wasn't that good. Because I think I'm like I'm still working on my ability as an actor, and I think I think I was able to tap into more like things in my brain to kind of get there better.
Yeah.
And I think I've improved a lot, and I think me and Don have talked about the character. I think he's added a bit more aspects of myself into him, and I think like because Devin has gotten a bit more funnier, a bit more
Yeah.
throughout the season, throughout each season, and I think yeah, I mean I think working with Don and kind of working on myself, I think is putting out to making Devin a pretty good character, and I think he's getting better and better.
Great. Chucky's been here for almost what 30 years out there,
Yeah,
Chucky
I
now.
think so. Yeah.
It's got a huge fan base. Like how do you feel like being part of the franchise? And there's like I said, there's passionate fans out there and like what do you hope for when they tune in to watch this series? What do you like? Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, I think especially for like the diehard fans. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously. I think they're there to tune in for Chucky and for, the continuation of that lore. And I think, the introduction of our characters kind of adds a bit of freshness to it. And I think so then, so then the fans aren't just like, oh, it's more of the same. I think it adds more
Yeah.
depth and everything. And I think honestly, it's really cool. Like every season and every time I see like things about this show, I'm like, wait, this show is kind of like big a little bit. People like love Chucky. I always forget that. Like I
Yeah.
go to places and I see people wearing Chucky shirts out normally. It's like crazy. I'm always like, dang, this show is like huge a little bit. Chucky's like a icon, and it's kind of cool just being a part of that.
While you're filming the series, like, with the director out there or the writers, do you ever like talk to them? They ever talk to you? It's like, hey, is there a certain way you want to play a scene, or do you have any idea how we should do this? Do they ever talk to you about stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a really good amount of collaboration in
Yeah.
work. I think most of the directors we kind of sit down and we kind of talk about the scene before we do it. We kind of decide what's going to happen. Sometimes most of the time the director kind of has a good idea of what to do it, and then usually maybe like someone has like, oh, maybe just try this, let's try some of this, and everyone's really open and for experimentation. So I think that kind of is gets like a better product because the actor gets to put input in, and then they can feel good about being input, and then they could put better work out.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's really collaborative and everyone's kind of working together.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about Devon?
Dang, that's hard. I don't know. It's like I just don't yeah, dang. I think I like Devin because I think he's, you know, he's hopeful. I think in the show, I mean, you know, Jake, you know, started kind of losing hope a little bit, but I think season two he kind of brought that back. But I think, you know, Jake and Lexi are having their, you know, their own drama. You know, Lexi's looking for her sister. Jake's kind of just figuring out what he's trying to do. And I think Devon is kind of almost that light in the group. You know, he keeps everyone kind of grounded and keeps everyone like from tipping over the edge.
Yeah.
I think I like that aspect of him. I like how he keeps everyone kind of centered, and I don't know. I think he brings good energy to the group, and I
Yeah.
think that's what I like about him.
Would you say he's the leader of the group?
Not the leader, but I think he's like the therapist to the group. You know, I don't know. He's like the
Yeah.
guy who's like, hey, you know, maybe like in scenes you never see, but like, you know, maybe they sit down and talk about what's happening and get personal. Because I think, you know, Jake is the leader. I mean, he's the guy who's like he's the ringleader. He's always like, let's do this, let's go. But I
Yeah.
think Devin is there to just kind of make sure everyone is okay and like and let's keep going.
Yeah. Have the writers said anything to you about like do they have stories like they think about like that they have more seasons they can do? Have they said anything to you
Um,
guys?
Not really. I don't know. I mean, you know, sometimes Don has a lot of ideas. Um, Writers too. I mean, not really. I don't know. I don't really know much about that. I just kind of see what happens when they make the script.
Yeah. Would you ever want to see a spin-off of Devon?
That'd be fun. I want a nice little like Devin solo story. That'd be kind of fun. Doing
You
his
know,
own thing.
like he goes off and then Chucky follows him or
Yeah,
something.
I'm
You don't
thinking like
know.
a 1920s noir like
There you go.
style
Uh,
little special.
yeah. Overall, what's been your experience like working on Chucky?
It's been great. I mean, I think I was lucky enough to have that like that show be my first kind of big project.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone's just so like I don't know, like there's nothing really like bad to say about it. Like it's all just awesome. And yeah, I'm lucky enough to have that be my first show. And it's yeah, I don't know. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep it
For
going.
sure. How many episodes are we expecting for the part two?
I think it's what well, I think I think it was an 8 episode season, so first four and the next four, so
All right. All right.
two more.
Is there a specific episode that you were excited about this season three?
Season three, part two. I'm excited for. I think the next episode.
Okay.
I'm excited for that one and the last one too. People are gonna like the last one.
Amazing, amazing. What's next for you? Any other projects you're allowed to tell us about that you got coming out or
Um,
working on? Or
no, I've been doing my own thing, personal
okay,
stuff.
there you go. Amazing. How can the Chucky fans find you on social media? Can they keep up with you?
Okay, they can find me at Björgvin_Arnars on Instagram. It's the one that's the verification mark. I don't know. Um, I guess I'm on Twitter, but I don't use Twitter, so don't follow me on Twitter. I don't use that. And yeah, I mainly use Instagram and you know, check out my IMBD if you I don't know.
Amazing, Bjorgvin. I want to thank you again for coming back on the show. Hopefully, we get a season four. We get you back on. We continue on this chat.
Yes, thank you. Yes, let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going.